The transition begins tomorrow as President-elect Trump will meet at the White House with President Obama.
Mr. Trump has made many promises about improving America and also talked about specific improvements in Northeast Florida. The president-elect pulling off a stunning victory, and Kent is taking a closer look at the exit polls. First, though, Channel 4's Vic Micolucci has more on what it will take for Mr. Trump to make good on his promises. Vic.
Donald Trump certainly worked hard in the state of Florida to win over voters. He spent a lot of time visiting our area, promising to make things better. Last week at the Jacksonville Equestrian Center, he said he'd boost the economy, create good jobs, and make people feel safe again. He also spoke about our military.
That means brand new state-of-the-art ships in places like Mayport, right here in Jacksonville.
I spoke about these claims with retired Admiral Bob Natter. He was the commander of the Navy's entire Atlantic fleet. That's a big deal. He agrees that the military is underfunded with only 272 deployable ships. He testified to Congress that the U.S. needs at least 350 to protect us.
Assuming that a President Trump is able to expand our military, expand our Navy to increase numbers, which it needs, then we will see more ships and aircraft here in Mayport and in Jacksonville. You'll see more investment here.
Last week, Trump also promised to help Jacksonville's port.
We're going to spend a lot of money on our infrastructure, including the deepening, which you need, of the harbor at Jackport.
Trump mispronounced it a little bit, but still, Admiral Natter says that'd be crucial to improving our economy, especially with the expansion of the Panama Canal.
And there are very few ports on the east coast of the United States that can accommodate those larger, deeper draft ships. We need to dredge, and we need to have this port capable.
Admiral Natter says it'll be hard to keep all the promises, but he thinks the new administration will be good for the community and the country. But he reminds everyone that the president needs the support of Congress for these things to work. We'll see after January 20th when Trump officially takes office. I'm Vic Micolucci, Channel 4, the local station.
Almost all of the prominent pundits had predicted a Clinton win with at least a moderate or even a lopsided victory margin. Instead, as you know, Clinton underperformed her attempts to match the historic support President Obama achieved. Taking a look at our Electoral College map, notice there are two states that still have not been called, Michigan and New Hampshire. In Michigan, all precincts are counted, and Trump holds roughly a 12,000 vote lead, which is about 1/4 of a percentage point. If that was the margin here in Florida, there would be an automatic machine recount. Under Michigan law, a recount is only required if the difference is less than 2,000 votes. In New Hampshire, it's an even smaller margin, with Clinton holding just a 1,400 vote lead, but the state has not been formally called by the major networks. Analyzing the aftermath, Kent is joining us with a look at the exit polls from the election. Kent?
Yeah, and Tom, we don't know yet exactly why pollsters and forecasters got it wrong. But we can take a look at a few of the trends that handed this election to Donald Trump. First, men backed President-elect Trump. That was expected. Women's voting preferences really haven't changed much since 2012. And in 2012, men preferred Mitt Romney by 7 percentage points. This year, they preferred Trump by 12 points. Trump specifically appealed to Caucasians. Mitt Romney won non-college educated whites by 26 points in 2012. This year, though, Trump won by a much larger margin, 39 points. College graduates, however, favored Trump less, 14 points to 4 points. Other things we've learned, voters made up their mind before September. Some 62% say they had already decided. Another 26% would be decided in September or October, but only 12% of voters decided who their candidate would be over the past week. One other point, voters were generally not excited about either candidate. Only about 4 in 10 voters said they would be excited or optimistic about Clinton or Trump in the White House.